too hard, something would push back.
What happens next is my favorite part.
What is up, people? What is going on? We are back. Another episode to talk about From. We usually do the watch party, but Tank went to go see Project Hail Mary, so we'll be back with the watch party next week. But I said we got to keep the From stuff going, so me and Brian are going to come in here, talk a little about season 4, theories, predictions, and stuff like that. But Brian, tell the people where they can find you, sir.
Yo, 1/3 of Spoiler Kings, but you can find me here too with Nzo. But 1/3 of Spoiler Kings, we live Mondays, Thursdays, Saturday nights, but Saturday mornings, every other show that we can think of, with everything coming out, even with Daredevil, we are always breaking down TV shows. But From is our home. We're part of the Fromly. That's why we're doing this and breaking it out.
Absolutely, 100%. Collector Movie Man said, "Hey Anzo, just wanted to pop in, say hi, and say I'm looking forward to tomorrow morning. I hope Brian tortures you with the Dune trailer tomorrow." He doesn't have to. I already tortured myself. I watched it on X, and I was just like, "Oh my lord,
It was
no!"
good. I don't understand why you keep on saying that. It was a good trailer, man.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna give you a hot take. I thought the Spider-Man one was just man too.
No, I know that. I know you. If it's anything that actually involves you liking something, so that everyone else likes, then he's gonna be like, "Yeah, it really isn't that good." Whatever.
I'm hoping, because I remember in the comic where Spider-Man like kind of mutated into like a spider for a bit. I don't think they're gonna do that, but it would be kind of cool if they did that for like maybe a little bit of the movie, you know?
I will say that watching that trailer gave me Spider-Man 2, Sam Raimi Spider-Man 2 vibes.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the stuff they're trying to do, and I think it's going to be good. I think you didn't see certain things. You didn't see Sadie Sink, so we don't know if she's really who she really going to be. Are we going to get her as Jean Grey? Are we going to get her as as something else, someone else? I don't know, but that's going to be interesting. And then you see exactly what we're getting with Hulk, and the fact that he's back to Bruce Banner, but maybe Bruce Banner doesn't remember who Peter Parker is and that he's Spider-Man. But what if the Hulk does? And what if
I heard, yeah,
that they take them out and only thing that's left is Savage Hulk? That'd be a fire ass thing to do. I think so.
First off, what up, Tony? Thank you for popping in. Much appreciated. Yeah, but here's the problem. We haven't had a good Hulk in any of these movies yet, right? Even in Avengers, he was okay. The first one, he was okay, but I didn't like the way he was moving, kind of like gorilla-like, and I'm like, I don't understand why they gave Hulk. They don't do that in future movies, but he kind of moved like a gorilla a lot in the first Avengers. I think he was good in that. But every other movie, he's got his ass whooped by whatever, and I'm just like, nah, bro. I'm not gonna sit there and accept Punisher and Spider-Man beating up Hulk. I can't. I can't do it.
It makes sense why they do it. I totally understand. The Russos are afraid of Hulk. Hulk doesn't work. Like both Hulk and Thor have to be made into jokes because they're the two most powerful Avengers. They by themselves could take on Thanos. So you have to give them character flaws or something stupid to be able to take them out of the story, because them by themselves, just Thanos.
It's over. It's over. 100%. 100%. He said, Collector said, "Yeah, I thought the Spider-Man trailer was just okay, but the Dune trailer was absolutely amazing. Watched it 13 times. Wow, you're good. But at least we agree on the Spider-Man trailer. You see what I'm saying? So, Collector, we sometimes
think what you're thinking, Collector. The fact that you're agreeing with Anzo makes you think maybe you're wrong."
Hulk is he is so soft in these movies. No joke, Tony.
No,
so
natural soft. Not those unnatural things, abominations that.
100%.
Type of song. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely, 100%. But guys, we are here to discuss one of the best shows on TV. We got 30 days left before this show is actually premiered, and we are going to talk some From. So, Brian, Let's get it started. All right.
Ooh, let's do this.
Let's start it with predictions for season 4.
Okay. Okay. I think we're gonna definitely get time travel. We know that the time travel element is going to be coming in. We'll see more, especially with doing that, being a story walker and to be able to kind of jump through different things. I think that's a definite known. Okay. We saw in the trailer, Boyd seems to be losing it a little bit. Less, put together, which has been a theme that's been going on from season 2, 1, 2, 3. Now we're getting to 4. He's really kind of going over the edge. What if he does something unforgivable? What if they decide to not say anything about Elgin, and they try to hide that for now on?
Ooh. That's interesting.
And that's being held over his head, and that's the way that some of the other characters can kind of try to control Boyd. So I could definitely see that. Just talking about from the beginning. I know you have a thought that they're not going to see Jim's body. I think they still do see Jim's body. I think Jim does come back as a ghost. You just don't know a ghost of who.
Ooh, okay.
Who's he being controlled by? That's why I'm wondering who's actually getting controlled by. That's going to be very interesting going forward. And then we still got the boy in white, the man in yellow, and Victor. I think they're all that's connected. So we're going to start getting some answers this season, and I'm hoping that these answers really open doors to storylines that we don't see coming. So we'll see. Because we saw Victor. Victor as a child had to be down there to know what in those dungeons.
100%.
Monsters. He had to be.
100%.
We saw a picture of him writing the man in the yellow. Him drawing the picture of the man in the yellow, so he knows who he is.
Thank you for saying that. Because remember, I told you I had a theory, right? Yes. And guys, here's one of my theories. Because I'm going to tell you this straight up. I've been watching Lost, and I got a video that I'm trying to put together with like little connections to Lost. Right now, I get it. I don't think it's gonna end the same way or anything like that, but I think we can find some things in there. And one of my predictions was, I was like, okay, so I believe that when Ethan sees Jim, that is the man in yellow, like morphing into Jim, right? But then I said, if that's the case, then we see Tabitha and we see Julie, they were screaming at something, they see a dead body. I said the only people that I could see them screaming and crying like that for is Jim, right? But I said if the man in yellow is pretending to be Jim, then we can't have Jim hanging up in there. But then I said, what if it's Ethan, right? And Brian was like, I don't think Ethan's going to die. And I was like, yeah, maybe not. What if it's Victor?
But we saw Victor with his dad too many times, and that was the other thing I saw. But what if it is Jim? But the man, everything you said about the man in yellow pretending to be Jim is still true, because we saw the cabinets opening and closing and all that stuff. What if the man in yellow is controlling Jim or Jim's ghost? Because they all know Boyd is going to tell everybody, "Hey, I saw visions too. I saw Father Kotri all the time." And then we also have who else is going to be saying who had visions? Jade had visions. And they all know that, and they trust that. So Tabitha trusts that. So because is it possible that he says, "I see Jim," and they trust it? But it's really the man in yellow leading them astray down the road that he wants, because this is his favorite part.
100%. Now, the reason why I say this, the reason why I have these vibes is because, again, guys, when I tell you this show is beat for Lost, and now that I see that the man in yellow's transforming, we see Jim there, I'm more inclined to think now that the man in yellow is going to pretend to be Jade, right? If you go back to the original reincarnation, there's a scene where they talk about Christopher, how he used to be a nice guy and then he changed. I think in that reincarnation, the man in yellow was pretending to be Jade. right? I believed he was pretending to be Jade. That's why. No, I'm sorry. The man in yellow was pretending to be Christopher.
Yeah.
That's why Christopher.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's why Christopher changed, right? And he wasn't the happy-go-lucky guy anymore because that's what the Man in Black did in Lost, right? When Locke came back to the island dead, he took over Locke's body and he paraded around as Locke throughout the rest of the season. So I have a feeling like that's kind of where they're going with this. I also think that whatever his plan is, the boy in white has to die.
The man in white, because that's not going to be a boy.
Yeah, the man in white, 100%.
It's not going to be a boy anymore. What if these characters always have to have someone stepping into the shoes?
Mm-hmm.
And they're pushing that, and that's what the man in yellow is doing, is to push them to get these new characters in these shoes.
No, I agree with you. And it kind of makes sense because every time somebody dies, it seems like someone's come back to replace them, right? And we'll see that we're gonna get more people in this one. One is a priest, which the town has been missing for a long time. Now I know in the trailer people are saying that the priest dies early, right? But his daughter can be the priest. You know what I mean? His daughter can be the priest. So I think that's where they're going with that as well. That's going to be interesting, bro. Oh my gosh.
I have a question for you though. I really, I've been thinking about this a long time.
Mm-hmm.
What role is Sarah going to take?
Sarah. Oof. I think okay, because we did talk about this too before, where there's going to be a divide in the town, 100%. And there's going to be a couple of people that are going to go with Acosta, and I think Kenny might too as well, right? But I think that there's going to be a divide in the town, and I think Sarah's going to be on Acosta's side. What do you think?
So the problem, and this is why I had the problem, because I thought Acosta too, right? But who's going to be on Acosta's side? Because it seems like we also saw Christy.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Christy was there.
Side.
Yeah.
You know, but how can Christy and Marielle be on Acosta's side if Kenny's there too? I feel like they have to be on opposite ends, and Kenny's the one. If Marielle ever dies, it's the thing that'll pull,
Kenny over. Oh, Christy back. Yeah.
So that's the only. Like, I feel like they have to be on the different sides because I think it's good for a story. But Costa and Kenny have this thing together. They got something there.
They do, but I also think that the new priestess or the girl, I think that's gonna be like a love interest for Kenny, right? So if she ends up being a love interest for Kenny, then it makes sense for Marielle and Christy to be with Acosta, right? And then Kenny to still be with Boyd. But even that, I think Kenny will maybe start off with Boyd and then kind of switch over because Boyd's lied to him a lot, bro. You know what I mean? And kept certain things from him a lot. So, and then obviously they'll end up coming back to Boyd's side 100%. But this is all going to be involved in what's going to break Boyd. Unless Boyd does turn into something that we talked about earlier or before, right? Go ahead.
That could be the role that Boyd plays. He thought he was the leader of everything. He was holding it all together, but that pressure causes him to just break character and then turn into the Man in Yellow, the new Man in Yellow, which would be very interesting going forward. If he's the one who's been the protector is the one who's attacking everyone now.
100%. If they did a little twist like that, I love that because you're rooting for Boyd throughout the whole season, and then it's like, sorry guys, Boyd is actually the bad guy. Now, as much as I want to see Boyd be the hero, I'm still like, oh yeah, that's fire. That's fire. All right, let's see him be a crazy bad guy, you know?
Here's the only reason I don't want Boyd to be the bad guy. Because I don't want Costa to be the good guy. Fuck.
Oh, for real. For real. For real. Maybe they follow Kenny. Maybe Kenny's the good guy.
I still
I
don't
would
know.
I would prefer Kenny, but no Acosta. You know what I mean? Yeah, but I'm right there with you. I don't want like there's things in this series that I will never take out, like Boyd dying at the end of it or Boyd turning bad. You know what I mean? I want to see Boyd get out, but there's a good chance Boyd is not going to get out of this situation.
He's just sacrificed himself somehow, one way or another.
Yeah, I believe so too. Now, what do you think's going to happen with Donna this season?
So I was actually making a list of the top four people that I think they're going to die,
Mm-hmm.
and Donna's number 4 on my list.
Yeah, she's on mine too.
Like,
Who else you got?
so I have Marielle
Mm-hmm.
because I just feel like she needs to die.
Facts.
I have at the end of the season I have Henry
Ooh, I like that one.
because that
I
one's
like
going
that one.
that will break Victor. Now, what does Victor then become? Does Victor become the man of yellow? Does he that they're grooming him the entire time because of that? So I have Victor that's still very high. I mean, Henry that would just break him because Victor finally gets his father, and then what do? You take it away,
Facts. Facts.
and then of course, who's my number 1? Elgin. F him. Because I think he's gonna die. I'm gonna say I'm still hating on Elgin. You know, he's still gonna be number 1 on my list because he could go. He could go. I'm trying to tell him, boy. I can tell you, I'm gonna be team. Get him. Go get him.
Unfortunately, I don't think Elgin's gonna die. I don't think he's gonna die. You know what I mean? But I'm with you right there. I think he should die. I think
I wish
said
Acosta
it.
would die. I would love.
Oh yeah,
Acosta
me
to
too.
die.
Oh yeah, me too. Me too. Me too.
Can't have a Karen dying. That's too much part of this damn story.
And she only came in last season, so you got to give her a little bit more time. Hopefully, at the end of the season, she'll die. All right, but other than that, maybe not. I definitely, I'm at a 50-50 with Donna, right? Because I'm like, I could see them getting rid of Donna. It's an emotional. She's a fan favorite. I think it would hit hard if they were to get rid of Donna. But at the same time, I don't want to see Donna go either. You know?
That's the person that would break Boyd probably the most. Kenny or Donna
Ooh,
would break,
yeah.
or Ellis. Kenny, Donna,
Yeah.
or Ellis would break
Yeah.
Boyd. Like, but I don't think you get rid of Ellis because that's his son. He already killed his wife. You're not gonna kill his son. You know. And plus, Smiley is his surrogate son.
Facts. 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 That's a good question. Let's go with that because we haven't really talked about Smiley in this season. What do you think's going to be up with Smiley?
I think he's going to be against the man in yellow. He's not going to be for the town, but against the man in yellow, and that's going to create some difficult feelings for the people in town. They're running away from the man in yellow, and he's doing all these things, and you see now the monsters are out, and instead of them coming and killing them, they attack the man in yellow.
So you think the man in yellow and the creatures are going to be at odds with each other?
I do. I think they're both evil, but I think they'll be at odds with each other because I think that throws another monkey wrench into the man in yellow's overall problem.
That's interesting. That's very interesting. So I also had another prediction, but I want to hear what your thoughts on it. We see in the trailer where Jade gets caught in the tunnels and he's surrounded by the creatures. What are your thoughts on that one?
And that, if I'm going to guess anything, I think they make an example of him, but they don't kill him. You know, they figure out a way to really make an example, show a lot of. I mean, what's his name? They did the same thing too.
Randall?
Randall, yeah. So like, what if they did similar things to that?
You know what?
Or they change him, or he becomes a spy for them.
Okay. See, I like that. But what if, because we don't think Jade dies there, what if they hold him so that the man in yellow could portray Jade in the town.
That might be interesting.
Uh-huh.
I would like that. I wouldn't mind that at all.
That would make sense, right? You don't kill him,
Yeah.
but the man in yellow gets to infiltrate the town, and he gets to do it as Jade and cause havoc in the town. Because remember, the man in yellow says, "This is my favorite part."
Yep.
You know what I mean? So
And what if
what
he's able
about
to
it?
take over for somebody?
Yes, yes, yes. What is it about this part that is your favorite part? You know what I mean? And that's because maybe he's able to transform, he's able to take over people's bodies and stuff like that. So that's very interesting. I like that. So what about Victor? What do you think is going to happen to Victor this season?
I think they're gonna break. They're not gonna be able to break Boyd, but they're gonna break Victor.
Ooh, okay.
Which is so sad. You know, a boy who had to deal with so much being alone, gets his father back. I think they break Victor.
You know what? It's funny, right? Because I was saying, and I think we said this, like, once Victor remembers everything and gives up all the information, there's no use for him anymore. And I think when we see him talking to his father, that's when he's going to give up the last piece of information that he can remember, and then Victor's going to bite the big one.
So I told you I think Henry's gonna die. I think they kill Henry, break Victor, and guess who comes back? Eloise.
Oh, okay. I like that. I like that. I like that.
After 40 years, she was stuck in in the margins of in town, like not being in the storybook part of it. She wasn't able to get back, but Henry dies, and then Eloise reemerges.
How much Eloise? Go ahead.
What
I
do
like
you like
it.
about this? What do you think about this? Okay, all that memory block that he does, Henry dies, and he remembers it all.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Maybe Henry's death triggers something that he's seen as a kid, and everything comes flying back to him. Yeah, I like that. I like
And
that.
he's the one who actually saves Eloise because he remembers something, and it drives him to go doing that.
Now, I remember we were talking about the trailer, right? When they showed that picture, and I said it looked like someone lying in a bed. You said it looked like a car, and I was like, yeah, it looks like a car. I did watch another video where they actually said it looked like someone lying in a bed too. The only problem I have with that is when you look at it, it looks like it's in the grass. So why would he be lying in a bed in the grass? You know what I mean? So I'm more inclined to think that it is the car, like you said it was.
Yeah, I think it's in the car, which makes a lot of sense because of the car. All the cars need to be moved by somebody. I can see him pretending to be Victor's friend. That also could cause unlock some memories that's going to cause him some pain.
Which would make sense because I do think we are going to get some answers this season. We may not get everything because unfortunately, I have a feeling that this is going to go 5 seasons.
Yep. I think this is going to be the beginning of the end. What if the whole thing we saw with Jade is not something that happens until the end of the season? That what actually happens is Victor's pictures. He works with Jade. He works with Ethan, and they're doing stuff, and they're going around, and it's starting to make problems, and that's what causes Jade to be caught up by those monsters.
I like that. I like that. I'm interested in to see how he gets caught up in there, but let me bring up the trailer real quick. Okay, give me a second. No, wrong one. Share screen here. Gotta get rid of that stuff. Which one is that? Nope. Okay. Alright, get rid of that. Bring up the trailer here because I want to show that picture. Let's see.
It means everything they show us. It's real. I think they're doing it to make us afraid.
Well, then it worked.
They're doing it to me.
Now, I watched the video and they're like, there's a reason why they put that there. You know what I mean? And I'm like, it could mean that you could go back. That's why I'm watching Lost to see if I could find anything. Could mean that, or it could just mean that, hey guys, we created one of the best shows on TV,
You
right?
think you're some kind of hero? You're a monster.
Trying to
They're doing it
find
to
where Jay's looking at the
I
picture.
just need back in.
Tabitha.
We need to talk. It means everything they showed us. It's real. I think they're doing it to make us afraid.
Well, then it worked. There's something ancient
There.
here.
You see, it doesn't. Unless it took
He's
him
holding
outside.
Is he holding someone's hand?
Huh.
You see, like someone's
yeah,
in bed, you see
right
like
here.
hair and face, and see him in bed, and he's like standing by there.
But you see,
Smiling.
I know he's smiling. That's the thing. So, do you think we're gonna see? Oh, shit! I put that up there. What's that? Do you think that we're going to see that the man in yellow was happy?
No, I think it was all a ploy.
Oh, really? Because I think
Yeah.
we might get his backstory.
What if we find out that the man in yellow was there with the town the entire time, and that's what kind of got them believing? What's up, Catalyst? Believing that
doing?
all this stuff was going to be positive, and all of a sudden, he's the reason why everyone died in that town. He said,
The
"This is
man
my
in
favorite
yellow?
part." The man in yellow, he was part of the town, and they all, thought that he was positive, and he's the reason they all died.
I can see that. I
And
can
he
see
can
that.
do the same thing, being in someone else's body.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. I definitely know that the reason why everybody dies is because of the man in yellow, right? It's just getting there. You know what I mean? Because I still think that Julie is going to have some sort of interaction with Eloise this season. 100%. You know what I mean? Story walking, Eloise. Now, do you think that she shows Eloise how to get back? Or does Eloise just show her how to use the story walking better?
I think Victor finds Eloise, and she then learns all about stuff, and she teaches Julie a lot of stuff. And so I think now Eloise is now the surrogate person that's going to try to help them get out. And then they get closer to getting out, and I think the bad guy ends up being Victor. That's why I think Victor, because he grew up there, he doesn't really want to go to the outside world. He only knows this one place. He's afraid to go, especially if Henry's dead. And Victor is the one who becomes the bad guy and holds them all there. Or it could be possible that he's been doing that the entire time. He's always been this guy.
Oof. So here's the thing, right? If anybody is to have a happy ending in this show, who do you think it's going to be?
Ethan.
Okay. Oof. Really? Huh. I still like
him being the one left. Instead of him being the one left, he's the one that got out.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
Which is still torture, but he's a story person. He's the storyteller. He's the one that got out.
I still like it ending with Fatima and Ellis being there, the only two, like the Garden of Eden to protect, the man in yellow from coming out again or this happening again and stuff like that. I have a feeling that's where it's gonna go, but I also do like the fact that Ethan is the only one that survives, because in the previous iteration, it was Victor, but Victor was stuck in the town. So Ethan is the only one that ends up getting out of the town. That would be interesting. That would be interesting. All right. So what about let's see. Who else do we talk about? Acosta? What do you think Acosta's role is going to be?
I hope she dies. I hope she dies. The most horrible death you can ever die. I mean, and I think that's what you're supposed to do. She's supposed to be a hated character, and she's done it really, really well. I hate that character's guts. I want her to slip and fall on like a rock. So, I dislike her so much, and I think she's going to be thinking that she's doing the right thing, doing what causes the wrong thing, and then like her stuff, the things that she does causes death.
Do you think? Hold on. Do you think that she's really gonna have the town switch on Boyd? You think people are gonna follow her?
Come on,
Because
man.
remember, a lot of people don't like her after what she did. So, but I guess if you rat out what Boyd has been hiding, then I think she could probably switch people into town.
I mean, the town, no matter what we say, is mostly white. That doesn't go away. You're talking about an older black guy, and then you have a young, she's attractive young lady. You want her to be good. So I could see her being able to use her womanly wiles to bring people in. The question is, does she get Kenny? If she gets Kenny, then she gets everybody.
Facts. 100%.
He's the one. Linchpin.
Kyle said, I don't think anybody is getting a happy ending. Even if someone gets out, all this stuff happened and they're jacked up in the head. Facts, 100%. I don't even know how you can go back to normal life after dealing with something like this, People been theorizing that the Scarecrow is what dragged Boyd's tent. That's an interesting one. Guess what? Dale favorite super. Yeah.
The giant one that breaks through the wall like the Kool-Aid man.
100%. But that's an interesting question. But we've also, and we haven't really discussed it yet, right? We've talked about the spider webs and there may be being a giant spider out there. Now, after seeing the Scarecrows, are you more convinced that there could be a giant spider out there somewhere?
Sure, but I think it's still going to be controlled by the man in yellow.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Listen, I'm beginning to think that the man in yellow, again, I always said I don't think the man in yellow is the big. I think there's something else out there other than the man in yellow, and I possibly think it could be his wife, because we do see
I think he's the snake from the Garden of Eden.
Yeah, 100%, right? Because we do see a picture where, and it's in the opening where there's a man, a woman, and a dog. Remember that picture?
Yep.
And I'm theorizing that was yes.
You've seen the man, but have you seen the woman? Yeah.
Yes.
I got you.
Exactly.
Yes,
so I'm thinking
because that joke is funny. I don't care. It is funny. He says, "Guess what's Dale's favorite superhero?"
He said Deadpool. Pool. I got you.
He's dead and then that pool.
I got you. Hey, listen, I could tell you this, and when we watched it last week, I was just like, this was my favorite episode of that season, because that, I think Harold's acting along with what happened was, oh man, this is great, Now, don't get me twisted though. The final episode is really good too. Because of what happens to Jim. So that's interesting. But you still have the Garden of Eden in your mind, right?
Yeah.
So
I still think that has something to do with it.
How does it play out finishing then?
I still think that so Boyd sacrifices himself to keep them in, and then Ellis and Fatima are staying there in order to repopulate that part. They have to be people there, and they repopulate it, and they become, Adam and Eve or something like that to that aspect. Which I see that no matter what, because that's what we saw from the beginning. And they always say the stuff you see at the beginning is going to be what you see at the end. So
yeah, 100%.
They told us that they have to be the ones.
And if I'm not mistaken, I believe there is a scene where in the background they have that picture with Ellis or who we think is Ellis and Fatima, right? So it could be a possibility to end that way, But at the same time, I like. Does this show end happily or does it end very bad?
There's no way it ends happy. It has to be bad.
Me too. Do you think? I do think that this is Boyd's last season. So can you see that, Brian?
Yeah. I it's hard to think of that Harold could not be there, but if Harold dies, he could still be there as a ghost. And this is what they've done with every single character, right? You know, Jim's dead. Father Kotri, like they've done this so often. People dying and not leaving.
I'm gonna say this. Don't be wishing death on Boyd, Fletcher. We ain't doing that. Boyd has to stay right up until the end of this season, man. End of the show. We ain't doing that. We can't do that.
Well, think about it. He dies saving everybody. If he does that,
Yeah,
and then
in the
stays
last
around,
season.
and he figures out a way to get everyone out, right? But he can't leave because he died. He sacrificed.
Yeah,
himself, so he
that's
can't leave.
fine. Yeah,
And
that's
then
fine. That's fine.
Ellis and Fatima don't leave because they want to be near him.
That would be 100% fine. I would absolutely be okay with that as long as it's in the final season, right? This is season 4. If we have 5 seasons, Boyd has to be in season 5, right? So
He'll be
I'm
there
just saying.
as a ghost.
No, I don't want a ghost. I want Boyd. I want Boyd to die in the last episode. That's what I want. So I have a bit of hate towards Boyd's plot armor, honestly.
I mean, the monsters handed him the keys to the ambulance.
Yeah. I think that the reason why you think there's plot armor is because there's a bigger issue with Boyd, right? And I noticed, like, in this trailer, they're not exactly yellow, but a lot of his shirts are yellowish. You know what I'm saying? Yellowish. So this could be the beginning of how we get the man in yellow. Because remember, what we're watching is, I'll say, a reenactment of every reincarnation that has happened since they killed the Akui kids, right? So basically, it's a reenaction. So what we're seeing right now is something that happened already, maybe in different forms, right? Few things changed here and there, but at the end of the day, what's going on now has been going on for centuries or hundreds of years. How long? So that's what I'm thinking.
I just feel Ethan and Julie are still the two that can change everything. Doesn't mean it's a happy ending. Doesn't mean any of that stuff, but it means that they can be the force of evil that are good that changes the evil.
I agree with you. I think those are the two that will be doing whatever they can to change it. I just don't think they will be able to change it, right? He said, this is Boyd's last season, season 5. Ghost Boyd for Kenny and Donna, actress, said this could be 6 seasons. I'm hoping it's 6. I'm definitely hoping it's 6. Oh, there's plot armor for sure. Ambulance keys, Ten Chen, the dude that shot him in the arm and he ended up killing him. Yeah, but again, the reason why I say that is because I think we're seeing the beginnings of the making of the man in yellow. That's why, right? And I think this is what we're seeing, and that's why you're seeing the plot armor, because it's the creatures knowing this and doing everything they can to break Boyd. And the minute they break Boyd, that's when we're going to find out that Boyd is something more than what we've been watching. So, unfortunately, I think that agreed bigger. Huh?
He just said, yeah, after all is in, it ends the cycle going in a loop. But I think that's what has to happen. But I still think there's going to be so much death. I don't think if anyone gets out, I don't think more than 2 or 3 people.
Absolutely, 100%. He said anything they will do in the future has already been written. Absolutely. I know, bigger. I'm just bitter with Boyd. Don't take me serious. No, don't worry. It's okay. I don't take it seriously. I'm just saying. We ain't doing that. Right?
I need Harold. That's all.
Yeah, 100%. But I do agree with you. When you really think about it, there is a lot of plot armor, but I think there's a lot to the bigger picture with that plot armor. You know what I mean? Because these guys, they know what they're doing with that. So it's going to be interesting to see where they take Boyd's character along with that. Now, do you think Boyd tells them what happened to Fatima?
I think some of them know. I think Fatima shares it with like people like, Donna. And then Donna says, you can't tell people.
Well, remember, in this scene, Donna asked, they have Boyd in the room and they're asking Boyd what happened down in that rim. So he hasn't told anybody yet. Does he tell them in this scene?
No. I still think what happens is Fatima tells.
Okay.
Boyd is not one. He doesn't get. No one's going to push him to do anything.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. But you think Fatima's going to blurt it out there and tell somebody?
Yep. She just feels so guilty, especially when Smiley comes around.
Especially if Smiley kills somebody. Yeah. That would be interesting.
It was me. I did this.
Do you think Fatima could die in the end of this season?
No, because I think you need the woman. I think you need a woman as part of that painting.
Yeah, me too. Question: is Fatima turning into a night creature? It's been foreshadowed since the pilot episode when Boyd tells Ellis she doesn't change, does she? And there's a painting of a creepy Fatima behind. You know what? That would kind of be interesting, but I don't think so.
I still think that she's stuck there. I don't think Ellis or Fatima leave.
I agree. And that's where saying if this kind of has like a happy ending where people get out of the town, I think that there is going to have to be someone that stays in that town to keep the man in yellow and whatever else is in there in check. You know what I mean? And it's probably going to be now. It may be to a point where they do something where the creatures don't even come out at night, right? Where they can live a happy life, but they just got to stay there to make sure that the reincarnation or the cycle doesn't continue. Since she saw the OG ritual, she gave birth to the one of the night creatures. I don't know. I'd love to see her turning. Imagine night creature Fatima outside. Ellis comes outside, my love. Yeah. I think Ellis will die in Fromville, definitely.
Yeah, I don't know. He never gets out.
Yeah, I could see that. Which, if that's the case, right, I don't see Boyd leaving him there. So Boyd dying there, like you said, and that's why Ellis and Fatima stay there.
Yep.
For you two, who doesn't make it out if there's an out laughing my ass by the end of the show? Ooh. That's tough.
Yeah,
right?
I think Boyd never gets out. Ellis, I don't think ever gets out. Fatima, I don't think gets out. Donna dies.
Christy,
I still think Christy gets out.
Christy gets out. Acosta.
Hell no. She gets out. I'm burning all this shit down.
Kenny.
Christy gets out with Kenny, but Mario dies.
Yeah. Kenny has to get out. If anybody in this town needs to get out, it needs to be Kenny, man, because Kenny has been through some ish, bro. I feel sorry for Kenny, Said, I think Julie survives. Tabitha, maybe. Ethan, I don't really know. Jade definitely doesn't survive. Boyd doesn't survive. Donna, I don't know. Sarah is already doomed. Kenny gets out. Randall gets out. Kenny and Christy go to Iceland and meet 11. That's funny.
I just want them to travel and be able to enjoy just traveling and living their life. I don't think that Tabitha gets that back out. She got out once. I think she doesn't get out again.
Same here. And I think Jade doesn't get out. Jade dies 100%. Tabitha dies.
Will Donna get out with Ethan and Julie?
I would like if Donna got out. I'd be okay with Donna got out.
She helps raise them.
Yeah, I would. Oh, that would be interesting. All right. That would definitely be interesting. But man, I don't know. Those kids will be messed up for the rest of their lives. There's no way. You know what I mean?
Well, if Julie gets out, she's not getting out for a long time. I mean, she saw her cut her hair. This is years later, so there's years left for Julie.
Oh yeah, 100%. That's you know what? That's something we never really talked about, right? Because the Julie that came to save Jim, that means, and depending on how many years it was, that means she's in this town for years.
Yep. So this is not a fast, easy out.
That's interesting. I never thought about that, bro. Never thought about that. Like, how long has she been trying to save her father? And if that's the case, then that means she has been in that town for that long, to the point where, is anybody else even still alive?
That's interesting. Or did everyone get out? And she stayed because she wanted to be with Jim. She believes she could save him. I can
She
save
believes
him.
she can save him. I believe she can. I do 100% believe she can. Now, we didn't really talk about Randall. What are your thoughts on Randall this
I think
season?
if he gets out, I don't think he gets out. I think somehow he and Julie have this thing, and he sacrificed himself for Julie.
Ooh, I like that.
He's been sacrificing himself for everybody. He's a
Yeah.
terrible person, an asshole type person, but he does everything for everyone. He sacrifices for everybody. So I just feel like something's going to happen and he's going to sacrifice himself for everybody else.
I like that. I like that. And do you think we find out who Martin is in this season?
No.
Oh,
I
really?
think we wait to the finale to find out who Martin is.
The final season?
Yep. The final
Okay.
season, that's when you find out who Martin is.
Oof. That's crazy. Now, I know Fletcher said 6 seasons, which I hope it's 6 seasons, but I mean, unless, like I said, the Man in Yellow was just the beginning, so you have the Man in Yellow, right? And then you have the next season where they get the bigger bad to come out. You got to fight that in the last season, and I could see it going 6 if that's the case. But if the Man in Yellow is the final boss, then no, I only see it going 5 seasons. If there's nothing more than the Man in Yellow, then I only see it going 5 seasons. But if there's something else out there, then I can see it going 6, because the final boss would be the final season where we got to fight this final boss to get out, So I can see that.
This new girl who comes in,
Mm-hmm.
Sophie or whatever her name is,
Mm-hmm.
is she the mole? Is she the antichrist? Or she help?
Ooh. You know what? Because I know there's a scene where she's praying, and I think she's going to help, right? I think she's going to be what Father Khatri was supposed to be. You know what I mean? And I think she came in at the right time, because they're going to need a lot of hope this season, But you know what? Now that you said that, this town doesn't feed off of hope, right? It likes to take you feeds off your hope. It doesn't feed off of your fear, it feeds off your hope, right? So you bring her in there to give hope, and then you take it away as her being one of them all. Oh, that would be sick.
What if she comes in and she pretends to be hope and pretends to help, bro? The whole time she's actually setting them all up.
Yeah, I could see that. That would be interesting.
I look at her, and that's what really pulls. So Marielle is going with Costa. Chrissy doesn't really want to go, but you see Kenny with Sophie, whatever her name is, and that's what pushes Christy to be on that side.
Yeah, I could see that. Especially if we find out that Christy doesn't trust that other girl. You know what I mean? Because remember, when Elgin first came to town, Victor didn't trust him.
Yep.
We know why. You know what I mean? So maybe it'll be kind of the same thing with Christy, where she doesn't trust this girl. And
And everyone thinks that
Also,
she's just jealous. She's just jealous of this girl and Kenny.
I can see that. And also, when someone comes in and they too nice and too righteous, you know what I mean? There might be an ulterior motive to that. So, yeah, I like that. I definitely like that. I like that. Um, I think that's about it. Did we talk about everybody?
Only thing I think about is Tabitha. How long does Tabitha live?
There. That's a good question. Because remember,
Because Jim is
Miranda
gone.
died. Yeah, Jim is gone. Miranda died around these times too. Like if you go with their timeline, what happened then? So, huh?
And who's going to be the parent for the kids? Because Tabitha's the worst mom ever.
Facts. 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 That's why I don't think she dies right away. I don't think she dies right away. I think Tabitha survives at least to the last season, unfortunately.
Okay. Okay. I mean, that's kind of ends everything. But my last thing, I just want to ask you, where's by Elgin?
Yeah.
What do you think happens to Elgin? What do you think?
I think Elgin is going to get a redemption arc.
I don't care. He's still not getting my barbecue.
I still think Elgin is going to get a redemption arc. Oh, what about Sarah? You think she dies?
No. I don't think she leaves either.
Oh, that's interesting. That would make sense. Let's say Elgin, Fatima, Sarah, and Victor all decide to stay.
That's possible. I could definitely see all three of them.
That's interesting because Victor would have to go into the real world. You could see already he's not interested. Now I know he has Henry, but if Henry dies,
He
has
wants
nothing.
to stay here.
Yeah.
That means my sister, my mom, and my father all died here. I don't want to go there.
Yeah, he has nothing more to leave for, right? And he's always said that this is his home, so I could definitely see them going that route with that.
Sarah, she killed her brother. Her brother's here. She doesn't feel like she deserves anything, so that's what happens with her.
Mm-hmm. Now we do see in the trailers that she's being tortured by the voices. Do you think she's able to get rid of that, or is that what kills her if she dies?
Sophie's gonna solve it. Watch. She's gonna anoint her and push all the voices out.
I think I think she may break the thing she put together, the little, you know what I mean?
Ooh,
break that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that'll break it because I still think, like I said, that some of the possessions are what are helping them possess the people. And the minute she put that thing together, that's when she started hearing the voices again. So maybe they break that and are able to break the voices from her. It's good. I like that.
I like it. Okay.
Anything else before we go?
No, I mean, I guess that's it. I'm excited to see what happens. And I'm also excited to have some theories once we watch all the episodes in order.
Yeah, facts. 100%. And
Going through those episodes, I think, might open our eyes to things that we just didn't think about yet.
100%, which we will be doing, guys. So make sure to stick on for that because once those episodes drop, the breakdowns are coming, and we're gonna have even more theories. And I think we're gonna get a clearer understanding of what theories we were right about, what theories we were wrong about, because we put out a lot of them, and one of them's got to be right.
We were like, oh, we were right.
Yeah, facts. Tell the people they can find you one last time, sir.
Yeah, I'm 1/3 of Spoiler King, so we live Monday, Thursday, and Saturdays. But I'm with Nzo, breaking down breaking down Cross. We were breaking down Paradise. We got Invincible coming. That's just started. We got Daredevil starting this week. We got everything coming on. So I mean, Maul. So we'll be breaking down those things, but all it's just a placeholder till the Frumbly comes back together. That's all it is.
100%. Make sure to check us out tomorrow morning, 10 EST for the rewind. We got some really good topics for you on that as well. And then everything else that we do during the week. Saturday, they will be doing their watch party for Expanse. So make sure to check that out too as well. And guys, we outie. See you on the next one. Peace.